Welcome to Blake Street Banter, where one of us knows what the word banter means. The other two are just along for the ride. Here with Tyler. Tyler, say hi.
What's up, guys?
And we are here with Rockies farmhand, Fresno Grizzly pitcher, Blake Goldsberry. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Can't say thank you enough for being here and spending your late morning, I guess, out in Fresno with us. So sweet. Thank you for hanging out. Where are you at right now?
I'm in my bedroom.
Okay, that is your bedroom.
Yep.
Very nice. We saw Sam Weatherly, roommate, and his background wasn't as picturesque as yours. So
No.
I just had to double
He's
check.
actually my roommate too.
What's that?
He's my roommate too. So
Yeah, that's why I was kind of confused. Like, all right, so Sam doesn't like decor, I guess.
yeah, I guess not.
We need to get him on that.
And it's funny because he started like the interview outside and like his phone overheated out there because it's like 110 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you just wake up in a sweat every morning?
Well, luckily we have a pretty good AC. Although 2 nights ago we got back from Stockton and our AC went out.
Oh no.
So it was like 85 degrees when we woke up. It was miserable.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So speaking of roommates and stuff, when we talked to Sam last week, 2 weeks ago, he mentioned that you guys were going golfing, the four of you, and he says you're a ringer. What's your handicap? And did you kick his ass that day?
We did. I teamed up with Austin Kitchens and we put him away pretty early. My handicap was around like a 2.9 during COVID because I just played a lot. So I definitely have had my fair share of rounds.
Getting out there. Is there a future as an amateur golfer in the off season?
No, none. No.
Yeah, he was saying it's just not even fun to play with you. Like you're just that much better than him. Like what do you have to say to that?
I think just because he's just starting that he thinks that it's going to be a lot easier, and he is not. I don't think he quite understands that, but he's got a long way to go. That's for sure.
Gonna look forward to those updates. Let's talk baseball. You Fresno Grizzlies. You spent a few years at Kansas JAYHAWKS. I'm a Nebraska fan, grew up in Nebraska. We have our little histories against each other, but not really as of late. So we'll just get that out of the way right now. But you went 5 years at Kansas, which you don't see a lot. Why? I guess I don't never see players go 5 years. How did that happen? How did that work out? And you were lights out in 2020. Are you pissed that it kind of ended shortly?
Yeah, I was. Well, I think first off, my first year was so bad. I thought I was going to get cut. So I was just glad they kept me around. And I got to my junior year and I started to get some interest from pro teams. And I think I ended up starting some games and I started at Florida State, woke up the next morning and I had a stress reaction in my elbow. So I was out for the rest of the year. So that hurt with the draft and everything going on my junior year. And then I think teams the next year were kind of just hesitant to take a guy who was hurt. I had a really good year, I thought, and I thought I was going to have a chance to go. And I didn't. And I had the opportunity to go back for a 5th year because I had it. And just the school, the coaches, teammates were so good. I couldn't pass it up, just go another year. And then obviously had a good start to 2020 and then we got banged.
Right.
Did you take a medical red shirt for after the elbow injury or?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
But then, speaking of the JAYHAWKS, like we've in the Rockies system, we've got Matt McLaughlin, who you were teammates with, and Ben Sems, who was just drafted like last week. Have you been in touch with those guys now that you're organization mates and stuff?
Yeah, we talk. Matt and I talk a lot. I shouldn't say a lot, but we definitely talk. And I just talked to Sims. I congratulated him. He's super excited. So yeah, it's good to have some familiar faces around.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. And then also Frank Duncan, who he went to Kansas. You guys, I don't think your timeline's lined up there, but I mean, he's pitching in AAA for the Rockies. So, I mean, we all know about Kansas hoops, but like, is Kansas baseball like low key a powerhouse too?
I don't know. We might have some guys coming out of there that are making some moves.
Yeah, I was just surprised because I didn't realize that. Yeah, you have now 2 teammates that are in the Rockies organization. So that definitely caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
When you talked to Ben, did you give any advice or pass any knowledge along?
I didn't. I just kind of said, I texted him and said, congratulations on your day. And he just sent me a text back, said, thank you so much. You'll have to show me around. And that was kind of it. Just want to let him celebrate that day. But
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be getting a few calls here soon.
Give him all the what's abouts about Fresno.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you a big Hoops fan?
Huge. I went to probably every game there.
Did you?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
gotta
impressive.
take in Allen Fieldhouse. Take advantage of that.
For sure. Yeah. Give
Yeah,
chills
what are-
every time.
What are your expectations for the revamped squad, Bill Self and that new team?
I think this could be the year we get another one. I think we're loaded. They have big guys, they have guards, huge, like Peyton Ramey, the transfer. This could be a big year.
Yeah, because I think, not to talk too much about basketball since this is baseball oriented, but I mean, I think like the Kansas teams have been like kind of stuck with like how versatile they can be. Like you've got to play like someone at the 5 and you can't switch it around. So like Self has a bunch of pieces he can just move around. So I definitely agree. This could be a pretty special year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Do you want to go on record and say Kansas Jayhawks will win the 2022 championship?
I will. I'll go on record right now.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
this year.
Let's go. Gonna watch a little bit closer now.
Yep.
Take us back to high school. Cherry Creek High School, Denver fans. You grew up in Denver area, Littleton. And what was it like getting picked up by the Rockies and getting that sign like from high school to like now? Like, did it just come full circle for you?
Yeah, I did. I actually played for the Rockies scout team in high school.
Oh wow.
In the fall, and so you kind of get your feet wet with just some people around the organization, with like Chris Forbes. So I met all those guys, Gustafson, and then to have the opportunity to sign with them was like a dream come true. It was like when I got the phone call, it was like there's no way this is real. So I mean, I'm so grateful for them. But definitely being a Colorado guy and getting the opportunity was just incredible.
So, like, does the Colorado Rockies scout team scout high school players to come play? Because Cherry Creek, I grew up in Western Nebraska. I think we played Cherry Creek, and there was a Stony something or Smoky Hill. We played them in our wood bat tournament in Ogallala, and they were above average. They're really good. So, like, do these scouts like just come to these high schools and scout for the scout team? How'd that play out?
Well, like to get on the team?
Yeah.
They kind of I don't know exactly who goes through it all, but they do kind of pick and choose who they want. They just kind of take guys here and there. I will say the year I was there, we were really good. We had a lot of guys drafted. So I think that's just kind of what happens.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
Nate Sweeney, who was one of your teammates at Creek, he just signed in the Rockies organization, I think, a couple weeks ago. Have you talked to him about that? Like that another one of your former teammates is in the organization?
I have. He's super excited too. I haven't talked a whole lot to him, but when I did text him, he seemed really excited.
Okay. And did you guys spend time on the scout team together?
No, I don't think he played for the scout team.
Okay. Because I know he was drafted out of high school and stuff, so he definitely had that reputation going for him too. Playing at Creek, just give us a little bit of like the lowdown. Like I think a lot of people in the Denver metro area, just Colorado, kind of have it out for Cherry Creek. So playing there and then also being like one of the top players in the state, like did you really feel like there was some pressure on you and like people were kind of out to get you, like opponents and stuff?
I don't know. I think you always going to Cherry Creek have a target on your back, just because you're that school. I don't know. It was. I loved it. I loved Cherry Creek. I thought it was great, and I didn't think there was as much pressure because the guys around you seemed like we're always good too. It wasn't just like there was one guy who was trying to hold everyone up. But no, you definitely have the target on your back. But again, you kind of embrace that and you kind of like it.
Kind of take the villain role.
Right. Yeah.
Did you carry that over with you to Kansas, to Fresno, or is that just not you, your personality? You just kind of.
No, I didn't really take it. I did a little bit to Kansas because I was actually a walk-on my first 2 years.
Oh wow.
So I kind of took the like, hey, I'm the walk-on, like I got to prove myself. And I actually kind of have taken it here because I'm the free agent. Draft got cut, is what it is. But I'm the free agent guy, so I gotta work a little harder. I gotta outwork you, stuff like that.
Is there anybody that you're competing with like day in, day out there in Fresno? Like,
no, not really.
no.
Everyone's kind of just, no, not really. In other stuff like golf and stuff, yes. So him and I go at it, but outside of that, no, not really.
Okay.
Well, and then one more question about Creek. Your dad was one of your coaches there. So like, just talk about him as a whole. Like, what kind of influence did he have on your game growing up? And then what was it like playing for him in high school?
He had a lot. I think from the day I was born, I was at the baseball field. It seemed like just growing up around those guys, wanting to be those guys was good for me. I thought every day after elementary school, my mom would drive me over for practice, and I'd get my reps in. I will say he was super hard on me. Just being a coach's kid, I think he felt pressure that if I didn't succeed, people would start to kind of, oh, he's only here because of his dad. So he was definitely hard on me, definitely had some tough nights at home. But overall, I think he really shaped me into who I am and the competitive side for me.
And what, like, you're probably in contact with him a lot this year. Like, how is he handling this experience that he's got a son playing pro ball?
Oh, he's loving it. I think he calls me more than anybody. He's so excited. He wants to talk about the team all the time and everything.
Because actually, when I was organizing this to get you on here, your dad said that you'd be on the podcast before you said you'd be on the podcast. So he was,
of course he did.
He was definitely excited.
That's not surprising.
We might have to do a follow-up with Papa Goldsberry.
Yeah, we should.
That would be fun. But that's awesome. Does he ever like look at and does he critique your performances from Fresno from afar? Does he give you those advice like your shoulders opening or whatever?
No, he doesn't really. I mean, he'll once in a while he thinks he'll like, hey, try this, but I'm like, no, like I got this. His is more of just like text here and there, like every day, like, hey, compete, go get him tonight, stuff like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Those relationships are fun to hear about. That's awesome. So I mean, let's just get into Fresno. You probably had the longest week of your life when you went on the 7-day IL in May 15th and then returned in June 25th. Like 7 day my ass.
I don't know why that was a 7-day. But sure, yeah.
What was the injury? How did you rehab back? Just what was that month and a half, that week like?
I had a bicep strain. I had slipped on the first pitch in Fresno, which was unfortunate. And I just felt like something was off, and I tried to battle through it. And then one too many pitches later, it felt like it just exploded on me. So I was out for, I think, like too long. I don't even know.
More than 7 days.
Rehabbing that, and there wasn't really much you can do other than kind of just give it rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just lifting every single day, legs only, doing that kind of stuff. But it was a long, I guess you could say 7 days. It was long.
Yeah.
Well, and mentally, that kind of like, what was that like? Because you, like you were saying, you're the free agent guy, and just right as you start your career, you're on the shelf for over a month. So like, how were you keeping positive and everything through that?
I think just going to the field and pushing myself to do things like lifting and stuff, and just staying busy, because the more I sat around, the more frustrated I got. And I definitely think my roommates definitely helped. These are good guys around me. So that helped me.
Yeah. So speaking of the roommates, like, what has it been like living with, I think you lived with Weatherly and Veen for a while, and then I think Weatherly said that Gavin Hollowell just moved in. So just what's the whole dynamic been like in that house?
It's been crazy. We have a 6-bedroom house,
Wow.
big, but we have, I think, just Weatherly and I are the last two here from the original 6. We had Etheridge was here, Will Etheridge, Mitch Kilkenny was here, Stephen Jones was here, and we had Dugan here. So it was literally we had 6 of us, and within a month, everyone's gone. So we're just rotating guys in and out. But it's good. It's Sam and I have been holding down the fort. We have Bean now, Hollowell, and DiPiazza.
DiPiazza's there. Okay. Do you like take applications as they move up? Like Veen, we need you to turn in your application for housing.
we give it's like Bean's like, hey, can I move in? It's like, well, maybe we'll think about it. No, actually it was like, hey, you guys got to live with us. We got to pay rent, so please move in.
let's cover our ass here.
Please come in. Yeah.
Anybody. Since you've been back, you've been eight games so far with 10 strikeouts, 1.59 ERA, and a nice little whip over 1. Are you just out there pretending like you're still in Kansas?
I'm trying to. I just trying to throw up zeros, give us a chance. Really all I can do. So,
like, you've been an integral part in this 10-game win streak. Like, you have 3 dubs in these last 10 wins. You have 4 dubs in your last 4 appearances. Is there there's got to be this like aura around the Grizz right now, like just fun baseball? For
sure. I feel like every single day it's like, well, we feel like we're gonna win, and the mood is definitely really good right now. I think when any team goes on a 10-game win streak, they are starting to feel pretty good. But it's fun to be around right now.
And this is one of just like the best teams, like at least in terms of like winning percentage in the minors, like. And especially because of this win streak that you guys are on. But you've got a ton of just really talented players that have been on the team, like you mentioned, like Etheridge and Kilkenny, and still like in the clubhouse. You've just got so much talent. So what's it been like being around all these guys?
It's awesome. It's awesome to learn from them too, just to see what they do differently from what you do and how it works for them and what you can take from them to yourself and learn and help yourself out. But I think what's crazy is that we move guys up, but then we still continue to win, it seems like, which is incredible.
Maybe even like more talent on the way with the draft having just happened, like
right.
Probably going to get a reinforcement or 2, which could really make that just a really potent group of guys.
Exactly.
But tell us a little bit more about living with Zach Veen. Like he's like the new darling of the Rockies organization. But it's hard to get to know a lot about the minor league guys. Obviously you're a little bit older than him, like he's like a kid still. So just tell us a little bit about him, like what really stands out and what do you think that Rockies fans should know about him?
He's a really good guy. He doesn't know how to do laundry. He asked the other day before Steven left, he was like, hey Steven, how do I start this? And but he's a really good guy. He super low key. Doesn't do a whole lot, just kind of chills out. Off days, he just kind of chills out, does his thing. But definitely wants to be here, which is a great thing.
And
that's so funny.
He had like a little before the draft, there was like a little hype video that he had made where he was talking about wanting to be like the best, like wanting to be, I think he said he wanted to be like a Hall of Famer. Like, do you see that in his work ethic, like day in, day out?
Yeah, for sure. He works really hard. I feel like a ton of guys work really hard, but you definitely see you definitely see him putting in the work in the cages and just everything.
That's good to hear. Let's go back to you. What's your pitch arsenal? Tell me what you're working with. What are you working on? What's your mentality when you get out on that hill? Who's Blake Goldsberry, the pitcher?
I throw a fastball changeup. It's more of like a slurve now, I guess. What I'm working on is, honestly, I'm trying to build back arm strength. I lost a little bit since I was hurt and just not throwing. I think you lose arm strength. And so I'm trying to get that back. And the Blake Goldsberry on the mound, honestly, just someone who's going to compete. Like, we have a family motto, which I think couldn't explain myself better, is like, how do you spell fun? And it's WIN. Like, as soon as I get out there, it just seems like all I want to do is just beat the guy at the plate. And that's all I try and do.
What's your preparation look like for that? Like, I just picking a ball player's mind. Like, do you go batter by batter? Do you have a game plan that goes into it? Is when you see the team for like the third or fourth time, does that switch up? Like, how do you create that game plan?
A lot of it is sitting in the bullpen. You watch those guys kind of like what their tendencies kind of are. And then when it's just out there, I think you just trust what your best stuff is and how you can attack. A lot of it is trusting the catcher. Romo and Quijada, our catchers, are doing a great job with knowing hitters too. So it makes it easy for us to just go out there and trust our own stuff. And yeah.
All around.
Going back to your arsenal, like how do you really try to attack hitters? Like you have a pretty this year your walk rate's been pretty low. So are you really just trying to attack guys in the zone, try to get them to put the ball in play, or are you trying to kind of finesse them a little bit, get some swings and misses? What are your main goals when you're on the hill?
I think my main goals are just trying to get ahead early. I always try to get to 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, and then try and put them away. I definitely don't try and I try and throw my best stuff early too, but I'm not trying to just strike a guy out when an 0-0 count because it's not going to happen. But just trying to attack guys early.
And then just think about, you got righty versus lefty. Like which pitches, say, to a right-hander versus a left-hander, like which do you feel most confident in?
Right now, my changeup's been really good. I feel like I can go change up to any righty or lefty. Just the sink and run on it's been really good. So that's kind of my go-to right now for a strike or 2 strikes in general.
Okay, and that's definitely something that as you continue to rise, like that fastball changeup sequence is definitely going to be key for success, just throwing guys off their timing.
Right.
But mentioning like that Romo's catching you, he's another guy like Veen, just still a kid out there. But I think from everything we've heard, like he's a really like mature, smart baseball player. Like, can you confirm that report basically?
Yeah, he's one of the most mature 19-year-olds I've ever seen. Just the way he goes about himself is like he's been there, done that like for 10 years already. He knows, like he'll come in the dugout and start talking to our pitching coach and be like, this is what I see, this is what he's doing. And it seems like our pitching coach every time's like, yep, dead on, keep attacking. Like he knows it, and his baseball IQ is through the roof.
And do you think that having him catch you has been a little bit helpful with your success? Like he's putting stuff down that makes a lot of sense to you, is receiving and all that. Like, do you think he's helping you a bit?
For sure. Every time you go out there, you don't have to worry about what he's calling, or like feeling like you have to work the hitter and shake and do all this, because he knows what he's doing, and just kind of go out there and do your thing, and he's gonna help you.
Have you ever shaken him off?
I have, and I think it was like a no, because I shook him off and he was like, he threw it back down, and I was like, no, and he threw it back down. I was like, all right, here we go. And it ended up working, and I did it again one other time, and I shook off and he gave me something else, and the guy single, and I was like, you're right, sorry, my bad. Like, I'm taking off you again.
That's awesome. Trust your catcher, kids. That's where it comes down to.
Yeah.
And like going back to that baseball IQ thing, I think catchers that have that IQ are gonna be successful. Like they're built different, as the kids say these days. Like they just kind of get in. Like you trusting him already is huge, and so that's awesome.
Yeah, he's good. He mentally is just, he's there. He gets it. You wouldn't think he was a high school kid for sure, because he comes in with such a great approach every day.
Love that. Let's end this. We're coming up to that half-hour mark. Let's end this with some fun questions. We try to get to know the ball players a little bit. Usually I just go to your college website and look at the questions they asked you, but Kansas didn't do their research, so I guess we'll do it for them right now. One of the questions I have to ask you, talking to a Fresno Grizzly, what is your least favorite and your most favorite jerseys down there? Because they have an array of jerseys.
Least favorite is probably the tan on the tan. I think that's my least favorite. I don't know. We wore the tan on 4th of July, right before 4th of July, with the red pants, and I actually liked that. So I was a fan of that. My favorite is probably the black and gold.
Those are
I would agree with that.
Who gets to pick the jerseys?
On the road, it's the starter, because we only have green and red, and at home we just come in and there's a mannequin dressed for us on what we're wearing. So I guess it's not really the pitcher. It doesn't get a say. So it's just whatever the mannequin says we put on.
Yeah, it's probably with the promotions and stuff at home, you probably kind of have to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. That's like a tradition of baseball. The starting pitcher gets to pick the uniform for whatever it is. I remember doing that in like Little League. That's cool. What is your best accomplishment as a kid? Like greatest, there's the word I was looking for. What is your greatest accomplishment as a child?
Oh,
For reference, like Weatherly's was beating his teacher in a multiplication race.
oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say my dad cutting me in golf freshman year, and then coming back and making the team the next year.
There we go.
Wait, so your dad
just him cutting me.
your dad was the golf coach too?
Yeah, he did it all. He's done golf, basketball, baseball, volleyball. He's done it all. So yeah, he cut me freshman year, so I made it my point to make it the next year.
And here you are with your 2.9 handicap as a professional athlete. So thank you, Dad.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan-esque right there.
right.
And then final question. What is like your dream vacation spot that you've been to that you enjoy going to, that it's like your quote unquote happy place?
Probably Maui.
Maui.
Yeah, I've been there, and that place is awesome. So relaxing and just great place. I went in a helicopter tour. It was awesome.
Just good vibes, Maui. Yeah.
Great vibes. Yeah, good people.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, one of my friends was there like 2 weeks ago, and he's posting everything. I'm like, do you have to do this? Like, you're just making me jealous.
Yeah, good place.
That's awesome. Well, keep doing your thing up there, like this 1.5 ERA and this little over 1 WHIP. Like just doing your thing, coming back from this injury is very fun to watch. I know I'm watching from here, so keep doing your thing. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us, late morning with us, and keep doing sweet things, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Blake.
Thank you. Later, man.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in. Find more content at BlakeStreetBanter.com.